Hi Lorraine, my name is Brittany and today I'll be taking my client Kyle through the muscle firing patterns assessment. So today Kyle, what I'm going to be doing is referring to our fundamental movements training, and I'll be showing you through some assessments. So through these assessments we're going to be doing hip extension, hip abduction, we're going to be doing trunk, and also through cervical flexion. So I'm going to be guiding you through most of them. Are you okay if I be a little bit hands-on?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So I'm just going to set you up with basic cues. I'm not really going to anatomically cue you throughout the whole movement, just set you up, and then from there we're going to assess how your body is moving, because we know that our body doesn't move in pieces, it moves as a whole puzzle. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Any questions before we get started?
Nope.
All right, so we're gonna bring the camera down, Kyle. And I just want to point out that I'm referencing towards our notes that we got on Moodle. So using the fundamental movement testing notes as well as the slides provided by Lorraine Glass. So Kyle, what I want you to do is just lay down with your head towards the fan, if you don't mind, and your legs towards the back. So just down onto your abdominals. So just a nice neutral head. So I actually want you to just take your hands, place them on top, and then just rest your chin gently. Good, so you want your whole stomach nice and flat. From there, I am going to ask you to just lift this, so we would be standing to the side, if you can see it, Lorraine. I'm gonna ask you to lift this left leg of yours. Okay, so on an inhale, on your exhale, lift up and lower. So before you do it again, what I want you to do is uncurl this right toe. Just a nice neutral back, and then inhale on the way up. Exhale on the way down. So what I'm looking for, Kyle, is a nice contralateral movement here. I'm trying to see if your glutes and your hamstrings are firing along with your erector spinae muscles. So sometimes what we can see is some altered firing patterns, which might indicate some weak agonist muscles, which are sometimes the glute maximus.
Okay.
So I'm just going to give you a little bit of a hands-on approach here, just so I can see it while I'm feeling it, if that's all right. So chin on your hands, if you don't mind, and I'm going to bring my thumb onto your glute and then my middle finger onto your hamstring while supporting your lower back. So take a big breath in. On your exhale, lift up and lower. All right, good, Kyle. How does that feel?
Good.
Awesome. So I'll be giving your assessment notice at the end. We're going to go right into the hip abduction. So I want you to just lay down onto your side, if you don't mind. So left arm. Perfect, yeah. So now here, I'm going to ask you to raise this right leg into an abduction. I want you to bend through your bottom left knee. So bring your left knee into a 90 degree. Great. Now keep your hips and your shoulders nice and square. Flex a little bit through this right foot. Not too much, but just into more of a neutral footing. Awesome. Now on your inhale, I want you to lift up, exhale, and lower. All right, Kyle, so what I'm going to ask for you right now is if you can try to keep this right leg nice and straight. And I'm going to be bringing my hands in so that I can see some firing order. So what we're looking here for is your gluteus medius should be firing up along with the TFL, which is your quadratus lumborum. So I'm just going to bring my hands onto the small of your back and through your glute. And on a big breath in, I want you to exhale, lift up. And lower. If you don't mind, I'm just going to bring your leg forward just a little bit. And nope, sorry, just keep your leg there. Back a little bit. All right, one last time. Let's do this. Inhale and way up, exhale. And lower. Good, thank you so much, Kyle. So again, I'm going to be letting you know if I saw any altered firing movement patterns that were alarming. How do you feel through those two tests?
Good.
Great, Kyle. So let's move on to your trunk flexion assessment. So if you could just lay on your back and bring your feet into a nice bent position. So heels are in, good. If you could move back just a little bit. Great, and then down a little bit. Awesome. So let's cross through your arms, hands on your chest, good. So your feet are nice and comfortable on the floor. Now, without letting any sort of anterior tuck happen, I want you to take a big breath in. On your exhale, all I want you to do is just lift up through your shoulders. So lift your shoulders up, so you're bringing your shoulders close towards And sorry, go back down. So we don't want to come all the way up into trunk flexion. You're just going to come up to where your shoulder blades lift up off the floor, all right? Without using your head if you can. So inhale and exhale. Hold and lower. All right, so now I'm going to be checking for the agonist muscles again. So I'm analyzing a firing order. For my textbooks, it's all about the ability to draw in through your belly button. So pulling your belly button in through the spine, and then that will help us see if there's any sort of altered movement patterns, okay? So with my one hand onto your muscle belly, into your abdominals, we'll just take a big breath in, and whenever you're ready, exhale and belly up. And lower. Let's just do it one more time. All right, great. Thank you very much. So that was that for the trunk flexion. Now for your last one here, we're going into cervical deep flexor muscle assessment. So this is going to monitor your neck. So you're going to keep your hands there, but this time I want you to reach your legs nice and straight away from you. Now all I want you to do is lift your head and look down at your feet to observe, and I'm going to be observing your flexion, all right? So what this is doing is it's just seeing what your scalene and your sternocleidomastoid muscles in your neck are doing as your head lifts up. And so we're going to be able to see if there's some sort of interpretation that we can give you to some other muscles that are firing, all right?
Sure.
So whenever you're ready, I just want you to chin up and look down towards your toes. And then come back down. Good. One last time. Reach it up. And go back down. Awesome. How does that feel, Kyle?
Good.
Good. All right, Kyle, so that was it for our movements. Do you have any questions at all about them today?
Not at this point, no.
So through those four, we did the hip extension, hip extension. We did the hip abduction, where you were laying on your side. We did the trunk flexion and the cervical. So I'm going to be giving your results to you. Thank you so much for being my participant in this video. I hope you have an awesome rest of your day.
Absolutely.
And thank you, Lorraine, very much. Again, just referencing, I used my notes today from our Moodle, and all of that will be found in the reference below. Thank you.